Hi lovelies, my name is Geraldine B, and if you're new to my channel, welcome and thank you for joining us today. I am a happy wife and a happy mother to three beautiful children. I have a medical background in the Philippines, and I am trying to upgrade my degree here in Alberta, Canada. And my channel is all about parenting tips, giving, sharing my ideas about how I raised my children. I'm talking about health. I'm talking about faith, and I'm talking about how to manage our finances as well. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic, which is how I teach my kids to save money. Tip number one is to be a good example. I know this is quite challenging, but this is very crucial for us parents to set a good example to our children. Kids will copy you. So basically, we need to model them. If we think it's very important to show to them how we spend our money, and they would see us more than they hear us. What I mean by that is like they will copy what we do most of the time than obeying what we told them. Or like for example, if your children see you spending a lot of money shopping, or if your children see you like browsing your internet, finding a lot of stuff to buy most of the time, then probably when they grow up, they will also be going shopping online a lot or spending their money a lot. So your children hear your conversation about money. Sometimes parents fight about money. Their children would hear that and would copy that. So show them how to manage money so that they will be a good financial manager someday, and they will avoid that huge mistake of being broke someday. It's one of my motivations as well to manage my finances well, because my children will be mothers someday. I have three girls, and I want them to be good with handling money, because that will determine the future of their children, my grandchildren in the future. So model them the right attitude in dealing with money. And I know this is difficult. That's why we really need to pray about it. We really need to study and research how other parents did that, so we can actually be inspired by them as well. Tip number two is discuss between wants and need. So my children, I think as early as 3 or 4, I tried to teach them the difference between need and wants. And the way my mother told me before was like, are you going to die if we don't buy this thing for you? That's how she would teach me. And I carried that question in my mind when I went to college. Whenever I go to the mall, I would always ask myself, like, am I going to die if I can't buy this item? And that would decide me, and that would help me decide if I'm going to go on with my purchase. And my children, as early as 3, I think, or 4, I would discuss it to them, because like sometimes if you go to the mall and they're like, Mom, I need this doll, else would discuss it to them. You have lots of dolls at home, and I think this is wants. If they're going to ask me for, Mom, I think I need this pair of winter boots because the one that I have is not really comfy, or it's broken. So I would say, okay, we need your feet get warm, especially during the winter. So that's need. So every single item I try to tell them. I know it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend. It's hard to convince them at first, but it's like constant education. I'm intentional in teaching them every single time. I'm not just going to dive into, okay, let's purchase this because I don't want to argue with you in the store. No, I'll tell them we need to think about this, and we need to decide if this is really important, if this is need and wants. So third pair of sneakers is obviously a want. Like, you still have 2 that works well, that serves its purpose. You have your outdoor shoes from school and indoor shoes, then we don't need more. So that's very important for them as early as now. we are giving them values of deciding to purchase things, not just because it's on sale, but because if they really need it, then they can go ahead and purchase that thing. Tip number three is to discuss or talk with our children about our financial goal. And if your children is involved with your financial goal as a family, then more or less they are cooperative with you. And our children know that we are saving for their RESP. So here in Canada, we have registered education savings plan that whenever you contribute to that savings education savings plan, the government also would contribute on that. So I would ask my I think 7-year-old daughter to look at how her savings have grown, and then she could actually see that we could browse online banking and should be able to see that. I would tell her, see ate, this is where we're saving our money from, and this is for your education so that when you go to college you won't go for student loan. And I want you to do this, to do the same to your children, to my grandchildren someday. And you're developing values there. And then my daughter started to realize, oh, that's why my mom is not into spending money, because my mom is thinking about my future, my mom is thinking about my education. And that's a long-term plan. But we also have like short-term goal, like going to Disneyland or going for a trip, a vacation. So one time my daughter was like asking me, Mom, why is my friend are buying this online game in Roblox, but why I can't? I was like, because we are intentional in saving money. But I'm not, this is, I would like to make it clear that this is like not about deprivation. I gave my daughters the freedom to spend their own money, which I will discuss later. I just want them to focus, like to understand why we're saying no to them. And I think this is very important that your kids learn and realize why you're doing such, that there's always reason and it's always for their own good. Tip number 4 is let them practice by letting them handle their own money. And I think the best way to learn is to practice, okay, like to hands on. And I believe it is important for them to start right now, as early as now. So when my daughter is like, I think I started when they're 3 years old, I give them allowance per week, that is, the amount is half their age. So for example, if she is 3 years old, I will give her $1.5 or $1.50, $1.50, not $1.50, that's too much. So $1.50, half her age, and then she would put it in her piggy bank. It's like a cow bank, because it's not a pig, it's like cow, shaped like a cow. And then she would save it there. And the same with my daughter, which is when she's like turned 6, my oldest daughter. So I would give her $3 a week. So that's her allowance. And I would ask them, I would give them like chores, like if you need to earn more, like if they want to buy a toy for themselves, and they would like, Mom, can I work for a chores? Then I will give them money. They can do whatever chores that you want, like put away the garbage or clean up our family room or whatever, and then they could earn an extra dollar for that as well. And that is very important because you are teaching your children to decide how to spend with their money. So how it works is like when we go shopping for school stuff, of course we would buy all their essentials. That's our task as parents. And we would buy, for example, this pencil case that they need. But if my daughter would want like an extra, like if she think, Mom, I'd like another pencil case, so now that's a want, because we already buy what she needs. And then we would tell her, okay, you can buy that with your own money. And then she's like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna buy that, because she wants to keep her money, because she have something to another thing to buy for that money. So that's how it works. And when we go to the store or for grocery, for example, and we would ask them, if you want to buy something, make sure to bring your money. And then last summer, they actually planned to buy swimming pool, a small swimming pool, an inflatable one. So it costs $40 at Walmart. And so I advised them that you could actually contribute. So $20 from Amanda and $20 from Amelia. So they went to the store, brought their own money, and they were so proud of their purchase that they actually bragged that one to the neighbor, to their friends, and they invited friends to swim with them. That was before the pandemic, and everybody's having fun. And that's important to let them pay. So I paid my own grocery, our own grocery, and then I let them pay the toy or the purchase that they want, the swimming pool, and hand their money to the cashier. In that way, they would see the physical money going away. I mean, disappearing from them. It's not just like, okay, just give it to me and I'll pay that on my debit. No, they will feel the pain of their money going away. I think that's really important for them to visualize that the money, once you spend it, you spend it. Like, you can spend it once and then that's done. And in that way, attitude towards money will change. Tip number 4 is teach them to be generous. Our children know that we are giving our tithes, our 10% to our church as part of us being Christian. I think that's very important, that 10% belongs to God. And we are sharing our blessings to those who are in need, and allocate some of their money for that cause as well. And we teach them how to do it. We show them that we are doing it, like sharing some of their money, like we send it to the Philippines and share it to cousins there, or share it to kids there who need some toys that they can buy. And someday they might be good in money, they might be financially well off, but if we didn't teach them beforehand to be generous, then they won't really feel the joy of having that money. So I think that's very important. Part of them is teach them to share, teach them to be generous, and be intentional of that. And as early as that, they will develop the joy of being able to share, and that will also motivate them to save more money so they can also share that money to their friends or to their people who are in need. Tip number 5 is to teach your children to appreciate simple, non-branded clothes. And I think this is very crucial, because when they're used of wearing clothes with brands and they're expensive, right? They will bring that attitude to adulthood, and that could add up. Like that would cause them to not wear clothes that are not branded. But as early as now, we're teaching them that your clothes are good on you, because number 1, you're already beautiful. You're already beautiful, and your clothes does not determine your price or your quality as a person. And actually, our children, most of their clothes are hands-me-down. I mean, we have a very good friend of ours who would give her daughter's hand-me-down clothes to my daughter Amanda, my first daughter, and then my second daughter would use the same clothes, and then my third daughter is going to use that clothes from my friend. And imagine how much you could save by doing that. And we constantly remind each other that Joylyn, which is the name of my friend's daughter, loves them so much. That's why she's giving them the clothes for her children. And my daughter feels that they're loved. And my second daughter would always appreciate hand-me-down clothes from her bigger sister, because I inculcated in her mind that her older sister, her ate loves her so much. That's why her aunt is giving her the clothes. And so right now I'm not really buying clothes for them, because of we're enjoying those hand-me-down clothes from our friends. And I think that's very crucial for them to realize that clothes doesn't need to be expensive. And if they develop that attitude later in life, they could save more money by that kind of lifestyle. And my children knows that we are saving money for their future, and that we are not spending more money on clothes that kids were just outgrew right away, right? They grew up so fast. So thank you guys for watching, and I know that this tips might not work for everyone for some reasons, but I'm just sharing based on my experience. I am a new mom, not really new, but like I'm not really an expert here. I am a mom. I have been a mother for 8 years now, and I try to be a good steward of the money that God has given me, so that my children will do the same. And thank you for watching. If you find this video helpful, you can give a thumbs up, or if you don't really like it, you can give it a thumbs down. Every feedback from you guys counts, and I am really grateful that you have joined me in today's episode. And feel free to share below how do you teach your children to be good at managing money, or how do you teach them about money and about saving. I'll see you again in next video. Bye, stay safe.